So welcome to Street to Track yet again. I've got another car review, but today it's actually one of my favorite cars. So it's a Mini JCW. So if you watched my intro video, you know I used to own a 1.5 litre Mini. This is the top of the line JCW. And to be honest, I'm going to walk you around the car anyway, but it just looks fantastic. So I can't wait to get into this one with you, go for a drive and let you know how it feels. All right, so looking at the car from the outside, I think JCWs just look amazing. I mean, you've got racing stripes, a racing scoop, a little dent in the bonnet as well, you know, a John Cooper Works badge, and then just an aggressive front end. You also got those Porsche headlights as well, so it just looks like you've bought a Porsche that's been squashed and kind of raised on the suspension. So 10 out of 10 from the front. I can't give it anything less than that. Probably give it 11 out of 10 actually. Now, if we move on to the side of the car, I think the side of the car is very basic. I don't usually like black alloys on, you know, like a light car, but I'll give it the benefit of the doubt. I do like the frameless door as well, so 10 out of 10 from that perspective. Now, the back of the JCW is where it really shines, in my opinion. Now, in photos and videos, I've never liked the double exhaust on the back. Never really have, but I just love it in person. I actually told the owner of this vehicle today that like the camera and photos just do not do it justice. Also with the spoiler on the top, 10 out of 10. Now the Union Jack lights, again, they look good in person. I think when you're driving the car, you feel a bit more special with them, but I do prefer the just normal kind of round circular ones. But overall, if you've watched my other reviews, you know I love an exposed exhaust, and you've got two bang on in the middle, so it just looks so special. Now we're sitting on the inside of the car. I can't wait to give you an interior review, something that I've been really excited to do, to be honest with you, because I just think the interior of a Mini is so premium, it's so like fun and just got so much character, but nobody really knows about it until they sit in one. So I'm happy to be kind of doing this review, but this is also why I say you get a 3-in-1 with this car, because from the exterior, you got those Porsche headlights, so you basically got a Porsche. You know, you've also got those Bentley outlines around the headlights and the rear headlights, the rear lights, sorry, as well. So you basically got yourself a Bentley. And then when you step in here, it's just amazing. You're sitting in a spaceship. Like, you've got all these dials on the top that do the LEDs. If you have like a panoramic roof, you'll have one there as well. The push to start is so cool. It's not a push really, it's more of a panel, and it's like you're starting up your rocket ship or something. And you've also got a little flick button down here, which takes you into sport or green mode. I mean, we won't be going into green anytime soon. But I just think even the UI and this whole center console just looks excellent. That's the best way I can describe it. Just excellent. And I used to have the 2015 model, but what they've done is, firstly, they've made this touchscreen, so you can kind of flick around here. The navigation system is actually really good. It's actually better than the BMWs for the same years. I don't know why they've done that, but you've got Apple CarPlay on here, you've got everything else on here, and it's just so intuitive in its design. You can just flick through, or you can use the dials here, and it's quite good. Steering wheel, best thing about this interior, I think. I mean, I personally think it's the best steering wheel you can get in a car. It's just got perfect grip. It doesn't feel like a plate. The flappy paddle gearbox follow you, so if you're on a turn and you want to flick down a gear, you can do. You got all the buttons that are, you know, you kind of need, and they're not useless, maybe except the voice one. The voice one is always useless on every car. So I love that. The dials over here, you know, you can't complain. They just look, you know, very basic. They've got that little digital screen down there as well, which isn't too bad. It's not great or anything like that as well. But the seating position, excellent. The seats in this one, I think these are the JCW seats. They are just meticulous in their design. I just love it. The suede, the little bit of leather, the red stitching that matches the wheel stitching as well. 10 out of 10 from me. The only downside I would say, which is more if you have a manual for this car, is the armrest over here. I mean, when I was buying mine, this was quite a common thing in the reviews that I were looking at. But firstly, it's in the way a lot of the time of the handbrake, which isn't an e-handbrake, which I kind of like, to be honest with you. And when you are kind of driving, you can lower it by doing this and flicking it down. Not sure if you can see it on the camera, but it just is a little bit in the way sometimes. It's not enough to make me go, you know, like crazy or anything like that, but it's just a little bit annoying. Overall, though, I have to give the interior a 10 out of 10. Straight 10 out of 10. And I think I spoke too much on it because I just want to take it for a drive. So let's go take it for a drive. All right, so now we're on some roads in the middle of nowhere to kind of give this a little bit of a test drive, just to see how it performs. But like I said before, I don't anticipate any problem with this car. Like, I think it will just fully perform very, very well. But first thing we'll do is just a little 0 to 60. And I'm just gonna go from 0 to 60 and we'll just see what the time says on the camera anyway. This car does actually have launch control, but we're just gonna do a 0 to 60 just from stop to basically going. So let's give it a go. Bit of wheel spin, and you can hear the shout of the car. That's 60. So one thing that you can probably tell from the 0 to 60 straight away is the car just shouts. Like, as an example, if I just put my foot down now, I'm going 50, just going to 60. And usually in another car, I'll put my foot down, you won't hear nothing, and it will kind of slowly go. This one, it kicks straight into gear, and you get to 60 in a matter of seconds. So check this out. 60. And already, you can see from my body language, I've gotten kicked back a little bit. I love the little kickback in all of these cars. I think the only thing I would say about driving at high speeds or kind of like enjoying the performance of this car is if you're steering and accelerating, which is normal, I think, with front wheel drive cars anyway, like you can't really direct the car as you would like to when steering. Again, I'm like a bit of an amateur guy, so when it comes to like motorsport and stuff like that, maybe there's a particular way in which you do that with front wheel drive cars, but with rear wheel drive cars, I'm very used to basically just flinging it into corners and, you know, feeling it just move as you turn. With this car, because it's got so much power in those front wheels, it doesn't turn as, you know, actively as you'd like it to, but it's still like a gem to drive, and there's absolutely no complaints from the inside of the car from a driver's perspective. I did drive this in the city, so I took it for a little drive in the centre of London, and I think personally the 1.5 litre Mini Cooper, that car was honestly the perfect city car in terms of its performance and just overall. But the performance of this car in central London, I mean, you get to 20 so quickly that you might as well just go for a cycle, I'll be honest with you. I think for central London, if you have this car, you'll be more frustrated than you will actually enjoy it. But if you're out on these open roads, or if you're taking it for a road trip or something like that, or you don't use it as a daily in central London and only if you're kind of going out to have fun, then 100% I definitely recommend the car. Another thing about the drive of this car though is in terms of the seats, the seating position, the steering wheel, everything is just driver focused, in my opinion, I think. And I actually think this has the perfect steering wheel. It's chunky, it's got the grips to it, it's got these little thumb indents and stuff, and you've got the flappy paddle gearbox that comes with you when you steer the car, if that makes sense. Now, when it comes to the performance of the car, you know, the owner told me this, I know this myself from driving it as well, like it has a lot of power. It's got a massive kick to the car as well. But one thing that is quite frustrating is if you've watched some of my other reviews, like for example the Audi A3, you can really enjoy the normal speed limits in that car. You can go 50 and it will feel like 50 and you'll be having fun. With this car, you get to speed so quickly that you just want to exceed that 70-mile-an-hour limit. You really just want to go over the limit, and it's really hard not to. So a lot of the time I have to look down at the speedo and I'm like, oh, 72 there, you know, but it's just so much fun. So like I said in the other videos, am I having fun? I mean, I'll let the noise just tell you the answer to that one. Well, I think we got a yes from that. I mean, there's not much more to say. I mean, I'm slurring my words just from doing this review, so I just want to drive the car. I don't even want to do this review. So, I mean, 10 out of 10. Just 10 out of 10. 5 stars. Nothing more to say. I want to buy one. You should go buy one. Someone buy me one. All right, so final review time. I think you guys already know I'm going to give it a 10, 10, 10. Across the board, probably an 11 overall. I just think the car looks good. It drives amazing. And I'm just enjoying this drive a bit too much now. If I'm being honest, I just want to leave it there, and I I just want to go on a drive. So I'll catch you guys in the next video, hopefully. But please like, subscribe, and all of that good stuff, please. Anyway, see you on the next one.